When the temperature is high and of the person is exerted, since the humidity is also high, the sweat may not be able to, you cannot evaporate the sweat, so the body temperature rises. Basically, all the organs get affected in a very severe case of heat stroke. That's why they need to be in the intensive care unit.
So, what are the things we must keep in mind so that people can avoid being hospitalized?
I think the awareness is very important, and they need to keep themselves hydrated adequately so that whatever fluid is getting lost, you need to replenish it on time.
Basically, when they say heat stroke, what is exactly heat stroke, and it occurs due to what reason? Can you give us an idea in terms of the exact symptoms and what generally patients are brought in with?
So normally when the temperature is high and of the person is exerted, normally the body, yes, the body maintains a temperature within a certain period. But when you say it's heat stroke, that means the thermoregulation gets affected and the body temperature goes very high. It can go beyond like even 40.5 degrees centigrade or 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So the normal thing is that you start sweating. So when you start sweating, the heat from your body is dissipated by either conduction, convection, radiation. But now since the humidity is also high, the sweat may not be able to, you cannot evaporate the sweat, so the body temperature rises. And what happens is, instead of the vasodilatation that takes place in a heat stroke patient, you have vasoconstriction because all the blood goes to the major organs like the liver, heart, and all. So to the skin, the less blood, and you have vasoconstriction. So the patient, in fact, in a heat stroke patient, will be hot and dry. Otherwise, in the initial stages, the patient will be hot and wet. They'll be sweating to dissipate your heat. Right. So in such a case, and then many organs can be affected, and in fact it's called a systemic inflammatory syndrome. So that is why we've kept a ventilator, you have the monitor, and you have the main thing is the IV fluids, which you have to give lots of fluids, because the sodium and the water of course gets affected. So you need to give IV fluids, then you need to give paracetamol. But the main thing is, it's called evaporation cooling. So we have these basins here where we put ice or cold water and keep sponging the patient. So with that, the heat gets dissipated from the body. And we tell the patient not to, especially the youngsters and the teenagers, they like to go to the gym and exercise, but they can't go beyond a certain point where the thermoregulation gets affected. So that's the advice we would give people. Otherwise, normally it's the very young or the very old get affected, and they have other comorbid conditions. So, it's so basically all the organs get affected in a very severe case of heat stroke. That's why they need to be in the intensive care unit. The other patients of heat exhaustion or heat syncope, heat cramps, they come to the OPD, and we just give them OPD treatment. They don't need to be admitted. But heat stroke patients need to be admitted, because they can, even the heart can be affected and you can get arrhythmias and all. But even in that case, you do not need to give any antiarrhythmic drugs. This thing of cooling the body by this evaporative cooling is good enough. In fact, sometimes they just dip the patient in ice cold water, to dissipate the heat.
Right. Dr. Giselle, as you know that ma'am spoke about this something being not very common with middle-aged or young adults. But of course, there is no way you can't not go to work and you are forced to step out of the house every day. So what are the things we must keep in mind so that people can avoid being hospitalized or coming to these cold rooms?
So as ma'am rightly said, that mostly the old and the very young cannot manage their water intake and the fluid and the rehydration. But nowadays, if you go to see, the young are also exposed to these extreme temperatures because of the climate change and all these things. So it's very important, and the middle class is so busy that they don't realize that all these symptoms with just getting exposed to the heat can occur, and these changes can take place. So you need to be aware of this situation. I think the awareness is very important, and they need to keep themselves hydrated adequately so that whatever fluid is getting lost, you need to replenish it on time. And also, as Dean sir said, you have to be in a cool environment, so you have to make sure that intermittently you are exposed. If you are exposed to long times of high temperatures, you need to cool yourself, especially if you are playing high intensity sports or traveling in in exposed areas.
Also, is it fair to say that the temperatures have risen to a level never seen before, because this is the first time in Mumbai also we are seeing the need to set up these kind of storage rooms more than ever?
Yes, that is true. That is true. I think climate change is affecting us all. That is, it's very evident. And this used to mostly happen in the interiors of Maharashtra. It was never seen in areas of Mumbai as such, because our temperatures were quite different and we were not exposed to the dry climate. But now with the humidity, even we are getting susceptible to this heat stroke, heat cramps, and heat exhaustion. So it's definitely by some way related to climate change and global warming.
Right. Ma'am, my last question to you will be that we have also seen that not just the big civic hospitals or the smaller hospitals that have this facility, but also the Apla Davakhana, which is the Chief Minister's flagship scheme. 103 of these Davakhanas, also smaller ones, are providing this facility of, giving the cold rooms or the cold beds. What would you say on that?
Yeah, so even the primary health centers, as you said, or secondary health centers, they're all geared for this. But if the patient has a heat stroke, they have to come to a tertiary center, because the smaller ones will not be able to manage with ventilators, monitors, and the heart, etc. Because you have a multi-organ dysfunction. So the smaller centers can manage so there in fact they have those things where they dip the patient in cold water. See, like you have even these cold body suits, but that's not good enough because it takes a very long time for the heat to be dissipated. So you need this evaporative cooling, or in the smaller centers like this primary health center, the government centers, where they just dip the patient in cold water to lower the temperature.
Right. Thank you both for your time. With cameraman Mahesh More, Dev Kotak, India Today, Mumbai.